Hello there, how's it going? I hope you're doing well and having a good day so far. Ignore the candle, my hands were super cold, so it's just to warm my hands up. Anyways, today I wanted to go over a few helpful utilities for man pages, everything from TLDR to syntax highlighting on man pages. I figured it's worth making a video about just since I did kind of emphasize how useful man pages are in my How to Learn Linux video. Obviously, you know, if you're using Linux, man pages are very essential, right? You can learn all sorts of stuff from them, quick reference, etc. So I'm just going to go through a few utilities. So starting off, I wanted to look at Wikiman, which is an offline wiki reader for the Arch Wiki and other wikis. So we can just look at here Wikiman-S, that's just going to show the sources, and I happen to have installed the Arch Wiki. It does not come bundled with wikis just because wikis are pretty big, so you have to install those separately. And of course it can also show your system manual pages, and it just uses Fuzzy Finder FCF by default to look at those pages. So I opened up the page here for Wikiman, and I'll put these commands in the description, but this is how to actually install wikis for it, so you can get the Arch Wiki or, you know, the Gentoo, FreeBSD, etc., right? So you can pretty much install any of those wikis and then have an offline wiki reader, which is really useful if you are, you know, going out with a laptop and you don't have internet where you are, or you just want to be reading the Arch Wiki from the command line, as, you know, one does. So I can just do Wikiman and then start a term here. So if I just do like Wikiman and then display here, we've got, okay, yeah. So this one here is an Arch Wiki article. This one's an article on my system, a man page on my system. This one's Arch Wiki, and I can just, you know, press enter, go through and read it. So we can see, okay, yeah, list of display managers. This is literally just straight the Arch Wiki, right? So it's a really helpful resource if you want to have the Arch Wiki on hand offline, or especially as well if you're just wanting to reference something in the wiki quickly while you're doing, you know, commands or whatever. So that's a pretty helpful tool. So and of course I can do man on Wikiman itself, so you can see there's a bunch of different options for it. You can change what fuzzy finder it's using, etc. So really nice tool there. So that is the first one I wanted to go over. Next I wanted to go over TLDR, or TLDR specifically, since that's kind of the best implementation of TLDR. It's Rust, and I know a lot of you guys seem to like Rust a lot, which fair. So it's just TLDR for man pages. So too long didn't read for man pages. It'll just give you a bunch of various options. Actually, why am I telling you what it does? Let me just show you. So if I just do TLDR of TLDR here, right, it'll just give a simple explanation of what TLDR is. So I could do, you know, TLDR on the find command, and we're just getting a very basic summary, so we don't have to go through and read the man page to figure out what to do, which now I don't think TLDR is going to be a replacement for man pages, just because oftentimes a man page will have a lot more talking about, you know, how to use the command. But if you just need to quickly reference, you know, options and flags, it's pretty useful. It's a pretty useful tool. You can just get it TLDR on the AUR. That's the package for that. Oh, and I should have told you, the Wikiman package is just Wikiman. And of course you can get them on their respective GitHubs as well if you wanted to. So those are those two tools, which I think are kind of, I don't want to say must-haves, but those are really nice tools to have for man pages if you're frequently using man pages, and really most of us are, right? So those are nice. Anyways, to syntax highlighting now, I wanted to talk through the bat utility just because I did bring this up in my fuzzy finder video, so I figured it's worth it to kind of just talk about it a little bit more, talk about how to set it up, both for fuzzy finder and for man pages. And then I also want to go through a couple of other options to do syntax highlighting with man pages, just because I actually don't use bat for my own man page syntax highlighting. You might have, I don't know, I did show the man of Wikiman, so you'll see. Yeah, I did set up syntax highlighting finally. I know I kind of came off as against syntax highlighting in my FCF video, which honestly I didn't really use it other than, you know, for actual code. But I think I'm gonna keep it for man page because it is really nice. It makes it a lot easier to, you know, dissect and read. So I'm gonna talk about how to set that up with bat, as well as a couple other ways to set it up. So first of all, bat is just a, you know, syntax highlighting utility, right? So with FCF, for example, if I wanted to I'll go back into that FCF directory, and I can just do FCF preview and then bat color equals always. And now if I run that, we can now have our syntax highlighting on these files, right? You can see, okay, we've got syntax highlighting. So that is bat, and of course you can just get that with bat. Well, yeah, it's just bat there. A lot of things with bat in it, but yes. So that's bat. Of course you can get it on the GitHub as well, and it's got, you know, explanations for other distros, etc. So that is bat on its own. There's also bat extras, which happens to have Batman here, which is one of the ways to set up bat manual syntax highlighting. And of course, there's also these other options here if you wanted to use bat with grep, etc., right? So it is a pretty useful utility. And actually, let me first talk about how to set up the themes before I actually talk about how to set it up for MANPAGER. So if I go into config bat here, first of all, we've got the configuration, so I can just look at the bat config here. You can set up a theme directly in the config, some other options as well there. So that's the bat config itself, but I can also go into the themes directory here, and by default, actually, bat, there we go, bat has a ton of themes by default. So literally all of these, besides this one that is one that I was just messing around with, these are all default with bat, so that's really nice. You know, chances are you'll have something, you know, if you're using like Nord, or I think Dracula is on here, pretty much any of the common themes, you'll have that. But of course you can also make your own themes, which is pretty much as simple as copying the file for one of those common themes and just editing it. So if I just go into this theme here, right, this is literally, I just copied one of those themes and went through and edited the colors to be a modified version of Nord. So that is how to make themes for it, very simple. And once you have made a TM theme file there and put it in the themes directory, you can just run bat hash build, and that will go ahead and reload, and you can see the bat list themes there. So that is how to set up themes with bat, and of course you can set up your default theme, and that's gonna, you know, be what's shown when you're running bat with FCF, etc. But to actually set it up for manual pages, so first of all, you could get the bat extras package, and that's going to have Batman. So that's one way to do it, and I opened up my ZSHRC to show you a few of the ways to set this up. So these are the two lines you might want. So first of all, okay, I can set my bat theme in ZSHRC here. I don't have to. I can set it up in the bat config, which is a better way to do it, but you can set it up directly in your RC. But if you're on ZSH or Bash, this is the line you'll want if you have installed bat extras. Just eval Batman export environment there. So that is how to do it if you go ahead and install bat extras. But you can also do it without bat extras. You don't actually need that. You can just use this line here, export MANPAGER. It's just a one-liner telling it to use bat for MANPAGES. So that is MANPAGES with bat. But there's a few reasons that I actually don't like bat for MANPAGES. So if we go back, I opened up the Batman page here. So it says the following themes support MANPAGE highlighting, and this is correct. These are the only themes that by default support good MANPAGE highlighting, right? The other themes, I've looked through them, and the highlighting leaves something to be desired. Now, you can of course go through and just edit one of these themes to be the colors you want, so you could do that. But since I have PyWall for setting system colors from my wallpaper, so like we have my wallpaper here, and then, you know, if I go in here and just do a man of something, you'll see, okay, it's setting colors from that wallpaper. That's PyWall, which I will probably make a video on at some point. But that means I want dynamic colors for MANPAGES, right? I don't want it stuck to being you know, just that Nord theme or just a specific theme. I want dynamic colors. So that you cannot do with bat, which means you can, I can use a couple other utilities to do that. So the first way to do it is most, and I put this line here just to show you this is how you would do it. You can just install the most utility and then just use that as the pager for man, and that'll do the job. But if you don't have that installed already, which I don't have that installed already, and of course, you know, I'm generally a fan of install the least programs possible. Like, why, you know, install an extra program if I don't need it? You can just do the same thing with less. You don't actually need most to do that. So First of all, I did put this here because the less term cap was the old way to do it, but that's kind of obsolete now. You don't have to have this whole line set up here. You can just do it in this convenient one-liner, which I will put in the description if you are too lazy to type it out. And that will just use less with color to do man page syntax highlighting, which is, in my opinion, pretty much the best way to do it, because that way you'll just be using your system colors. So if I just, yeah, so you can see I've got, full syntax highlighting in the man page. Pretty much the best way to read the man pages here. Makes it a lot easier, you can see, okay, this is what I'm looking at, and yeah. So, much better way to do it. I will put all of the commands involved here in the description. No matter how you want to set it up, whether it's with Batman or otherwise, I'll put the commands for that in the description so you can, pick whatever you want to do. Anyways, hope you got something out of this video. Hope you, learned about a new program. And I will see you next time. Peace!